All right, let's get right into it. Today we're diving into some fresh data that's packed with crucial insights for every dive professional out there. So if you're running a dive center or you're an independent instructor, you're gonna wanna hear this. We're about to give you the numbers you need to see how you stack up.
So let's start with a really simple question. You probably have a gut feeling about how your business is doing, right? But let's be real. How do you really stack up against the average, against your competition? Well, that's exactly what we're about to find out.
Okay, we're going straight to the source for this one. We're pulling from the latest State of the Dive Industry Survey from the Business of Diving Institute. And we're just pulling out the good stuff, the insights you can actually use to make some smart moves for your business.
So first up, what the data shows is this massive split in the industry. When you put the US and European markets next to each other, you're not just looking at a few small differences. I mean, it's like they're playing two completely different games.
So here's the bottom line, right up front. The American dive industry is all about high volume. It's built to crank out a ton of new divers. Europe, on the other hand, is a different story. It's a much more modest scale. But let's get into the actual numbers, because that's where it gets wild.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. We're going to compare the average number of certs that get issued every year, and honestly, the difference is absolutely staggering.
Wow, take a look at these numbers. The average dive center in the USA pumps out 128 new entry-level divers a year. Now compare that to Western Europe, where the average is a mere 40. Yeah, you heard that right. That is over 3 times the volume. I mean, that one number right there tells you almost everything you need to know about how different these markets are.
But it gets even more interesting when we slice the data a bit differently. This table breaks down the averages for everything, advanced, tech, even pro-level courses. Seriously, this is a great time to hit pause. Go grab your own certification numbers for last year and just see, where do you land on this chart?
All right, so let's shift gears a little. It's not just about where you are, it's also about what you are. The data shows this fascinating contrast between how dive centers operate versus independent instructors. And let me tell you, they're playing a totally different game. This lays it out perfectly. You've got 2 roads to success here. Dive centers, especially in the US, are the big machines churning out new divers. It's a volume game. But the independents, wow, they are the masters of conversion. They might teach fewer people, but they are unbelievably good at getting those divers to stick around for more.
And look, the report calls this out directly. It's like the dive centers get them in the door, but the independent pros are the experts at keeping them in the house and turning that first cert into a real passion. And the proof? Well, it's all in the numbers.
You gotta see this. The average independent instructor in the US converts a whopping 88% of their entry-level students to advanced. That's just an insane retention rate. Think about it. For every 16 new divers they certify, they're getting 14 of them to sign up for the next course. Talk about customer lifetime value, right?
So let's turn the mirror back on you for a second. Do you even know this number for your own business? What percentage of your open water divers go on to take an advanced course with you? This data is screaming that this might be one of the most important things you should be tracking.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something a little spicy. The battle between the big training agencies. Because let me tell you, their market shares are not set in stone. In fact, the data shows things are really shaking up right now.
So in the US, it's pretty much a 2-horse race. PADI and SDI, they own 3/4 of the market between them. You got PADI leading with 43%, but SDI is right on their heels at 32%. So yeah, it's a very concentrated market.
But then you look at Europe, and it's a whole different ballgame. It's way more spread out. PADI and SDI are still in there, of course, but SSI is a strong number 3, and you've got this huge 43% chunk that's just everybody else. CMAS, TDI, you name it. It's a much more diverse playground over there.
Okay, but this might be the biggest bombshell in the whole report. In just 1 year, PADI's share of primary affiliations among US dive pros, it plummeted. It went from 55% all the way down to 43%. That's a 12-point drop in a single year. That is huge.
So what does this mean? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is this just a blip on the radar, a temporary dip, or are we seeing the start of a real long-term shift in who's on top in the training agency world? You know, nobody knows for sure yet, but you can bet everyone's going to be watching this one.
Okay, so what do you do with all this? How do we take all these numbers and trends and turn them into something that actually helps you plan your next move, your next strategy?
All right, let's boil it all down. Number 1, know your numbers. The US is a volume game. Where do you stand compared to the average? Number 2, conversion is everything. The independents are killing it here. What's your strategy to keep divers diving with you? Number 3, the ground is shifting under the big agencies. Pay attention. And last, be real with yourself. Use this data to take a hard look at your business. What's working and where's the opportunity?
So we're going to leave you with this one final question. After seeing all this, looking at these trends, what is the #1 opportunity for your business in the next 12 months? Is it time to go all in on volume, or do you need to become a master of conversion? Maybe it's time to rethink who you're aligned with. Whatever that answer is for you, that's your game plan. That's your roadmap for the year ahead. Thanks for tuning in.